Hello, this is Rich White with the Greenbush Education Service Center in Kansas and the Immersive Education Initiative. And I am working on a tool that walks kids through building scripts for turtles in Computercraft. So if you're not familiar with Computercraft, if you go to greenbushlabs.com/turtleblocks. And by the way, this is my email if you end up having questions or comments or just want to kind of contribute to the project. I'll put it on GitHub here eventually, and there'll be links to it at that location. But if you're not familiar with Computercraft, I have a link here, and what it is a mod for Minecraft that lets kids tinker with computer programming concepts. So that's Computercraft, and the turtles are a function in Computercraft that lets kids, well, and adults, people that are playing in Minecraft with the Computercraft mod build things automatically and mine and so forth with their turtles. And these turtles are programmable, so you'll notice this is very Scratch-like, so I used this interface called WaterBear to create this block interface so that kids, adults, and people, I am an educator and I work with middle schoolers, so my intent was to build something that gets them started with this process of learning how to code in Lua, but this intermediate step of first building blocks. Here's a little program. You see it's a simple fence. I put a comment down here. I'll show you how I built all this, though. Let's drag everything back out. There we go. So we just have a few simple blocks. I'm tinkering with the monitors for now, but there's nothing really interesting that they do yet. It's mainly the turtles that I've kind of been playing with. But I'll show you how this works. Let's build a really quick kind of 3-high block wall. Something real simple. I'll drag out the logic here first. There's really no order that this has to be done in, but I like to do this first. We said we'll have it be 5 blocks, 3 high. Okay. And I want to comment at the very bottom, and I'm just going to call this. It's always good practice to comment your code. Let someone who's going to look at it know what this thing does, and then I'm just going to say a simple wall builder. There we go. So a simple wall builder. Now the turtles always have to have fuel. So if you're going to do something in Computercraft, and turtles, you're going to need to give them fuel, and then if they're building, you're going to have to select which slot your materials in, and I'll explain that here in a minute as we get into Minecraft and working with the turtles. You'll notice this simple block here has most of the functions, not all of them, but most of the functions that you would do with turtles. So moving forward and back, up and down, turning left and right, digging so you can mine with these, and placing blocks. And that's the function we're going to use. We are going to, moving forward, and we are going to place a block under him. So I'm going to have to start him on a pedestal since he's putting it under him. He needs an empty space under him to place the blocks. And then since he's going to turn around and go back down so he is going to, let's turn right. Let's turn right again. And then let's go up. Right, so that should be right. He's refueling, he's selecting his slot. Moving forward, placing down, turning right, and moving up, and then he's doing it again. So 3 times. This should work. Hopefully there's no errors in this. Let me do it a quick double check. Now you'll notice when I drag these blocks out, in the background it was creating this Lua code for us. So that's the actual code that's going to run, and then my comment. Now that I have this, I can simply just click this button and it's going to send it out. It's going to send it out and save it online. And we can look at it. This is the link. I can view your code here, so let's do that. And here's where it's sending it, a little turtle code repository that I created. I wanted a repository that all of the kids' computer code can set in. This is also tinkerable. So once they get comfortable with Lua, they can come in here and say, oh, okay, maybe let's make this a little higher. Let's say 5 high, okay? And then they can create, say, rename it, new author, and so forth. I changed this to be taller. So we don't have to do that. We can run this as is, but that's kind of an example of what the kids can do once they get familiar with the coding piece itself. So I wanted to show you that. They can actually run all this without ever having to look at that. That's the code we're going to run, but first we need to follow these steps. There's a few things we need to do. This one we've done. We've dragged some blocks out. We've went to the script tab. We've sent it to Turtlecode, which is the step that when I submitted it online. Now we need to do this. Let's go in Minecraft and drag us out an advanced turtle. Okay. So I said this thing needs to start out on a pedestal since he's building under him. There's my turtle. Now if I right click my turtle, it brings up his little console, and that is this step. Open the turtle console. And then this is an important step because each time we bring out a new turtle, if it doesn't have a label and if you don't know what that means, this is a way to basically save a turtle's so that if you ever have to destroy it and move it, put it back in your inventory, you can drag it back out and it maintains the things that you've told it to remember. And here's something we're going to tell this thing that we want it to remember. We need to install this little Turtleblock runner, and it's right here. So we're going to go here and we're going to say paste bin get and J9EKT1E1 turtle block. What that is, that's going out to Pastebin, which is a separate repository, but it's a repository that a lot of people that use Computercraft use. I set up a separate repository for our turtle code just because I wanted something that the kids could hop in, and it was kind of only repository for that code, so everything in there is only going to be turtle code, hopefully. So we've got that. Let's see if I entered this code in right. If I didn't, it would say failure, and if you see failure, you know that's an indicator that you typed something in wrong here. And if it says success, okay, good. So now we've got this code as saved to my turtle. I'm going to go ahead and set a label. Label set okay. There we go. Now my turtle will have a label and I can save him. Okay, so let's go here. Now I need to make sure that I have coal or lava, and that's going to go in this little, and I don't, so let's go to inventory and grab some. Oops. Let's go to inventory and grab some. Oh, see how I accidentally destroyed my turtle? Now I can just pick him up, and I did. And if I go here, see my turtle. See how he's in my inventory? There we go. So now he's back in there. Since I saved him, he's still got my turtle block program. Okay, but let's, I want to go to inventory and I want to get some lava. That's the fuel I like to use. It's easy to find. Okay. So let's go back to my turtle. Let's put some lava in this first. This is the turtle's container right here. This is kind of its building slots. So my fuel's always going to go in this first slot, and there are 16 slots. So that's slot 1, 2, 3, 4. That comes back over 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to 16, which is right here. But I'm going to build with material in slot 2. Now I could put other material over here in some of these other slots and build with slot 3, 4, 5, but this simple wall just going to build out of slot 2 here. So I've got everything set up like I need to. And I'll show you where that comes in. You'll notice. See how I'm getting my fuel? So refuel turtle. That's what I'm doing here with my lava. Select material slot 2. So you'll see this is my slot 2, red sand. That's what I'm going to build with. And then this is letting it go and letting it rip. Let's do this again. And there's my code. Now that I have everything set up, let's run this little program and see what he does. See if he does it right. See if I got this right here. DC34F2C9. Now this code is going to be different for every piece of script you run. So that code's going to be different. My particular code, that's what the code is for that. But when you run it, it's going to be a completely different code. It's going to give you something very unique. Let's see if this... when it says success, so let's go back, and there he goes. So he's running. He's off and running. There he goes. So mostly what I wanted. Looks like I missed a brick here, one here, and one here, and I could change that code and get it right. But that, for the most part, is what I want. So that is Turtleblocks. Remember, you can tinker with it at this URL here. If you have questions or comments, there's my email. Don't hesitate to let me know.